Welcome. You're in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 13, National Football League, aka Showdown Sunday, aka Line in the Sand Sunday. This is a big week in the National Football League. No more bye weeks. Week 13 is the start of all 32 teams playing for the rest of the season. So 16 games on the slate each and every week from here on out. And I felt like all the matchups in week 13 had huge implications, whether it was just you needing to prove something to yourself, you needing to prove something to the other team in this particular game, or you needing to prove something to the rest of the league. In this matchup, Houston Texans hosting the New England Patriots. On paper, before the season started, this was supposed to be a huge matchup with huge playoff implications. You fast forward 13 weeks into the football season, and well, for the New England Patriots, this is a huge game with playoff implications. But for the Houston Texans, this is just another game on the slate. One that can't hurry up and finish fast enough to complete this abysmal 2013 NFL season. So for the Patriots, after that emotional high of beating Peyton Manning on Sunday Night Football with the huge come-from-behind victory, you can't let up now. You're 8-3. This win would put you at 9-3 and put you squarely in a position to strike. If the Denver Broncos were to falter, you could assume the number one overall slot in the AFC conference. And again, if you can find a way to muster and finagle your way into that number one overall slot and the AFC playoffs, all roads lead to Foxborough. Hey, you could have yourself in the driver's seat in the AFC with a really good chance of finding yourself playing in New York in February. So if you're the Patriots, it's a huge game for you. Even though it's the 2-9 Texans, you got to win this game. You cannot afford to let up and lose a game to a Houston Texans team that is not very good, and that is putting it very kindly in 2013. If you're the Texans, you're 2-9, and you have a very, very unique distinction. Greatest 2-9 football team in NFL history. That's a distinction that you won't have to fight anybody over. No one else wants that. It's all yours. You can have it. This team has an abundance of talent, starting with Andre Johnson, the injured Arian Foster, J.J. Watt. The list goes on and on and on. Jonathan Joseph, Brian Cushing, who is injured as well. This team is way too talented to be 2-9. But in this league, you know the motto. No quarterback, no chance in this league, and the Texans have finally run out of magic at the quarterback position this year. It finally came to a head that Matt Schaub really wasn't the guy for the job. And so this football team is out, if nothing else, to prove that, hey, we're better than our 2-9 record indicates. You also want to see if Case Keenum is the answer in Houston, or do you need to go out and draft yourself a new QB in the offseason? And oh yeah, it'd be nice if Gary Kubiak could finish this season on a hot streak and on a hot note. Maybe, just maybe, he could save his job. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. I think it's a little too late for that, but hey, who am I to say if this man can or can't save his job? Couple of wins and a big win at home versus the New England Patriots could change a lot of minds. So let's go to the board, see how this game broke down in week number 13. Showdown Sunday in the National Football League through the eyes of me, Louie T. So 8-3 New England Patriots on the road versus the 2-9 Houston Texans. 9-yard Ben Tate touchdown run opens up the scoring after a huge drive by the one and only DRE. It's 7-0 Houston, so Houston comes right out of the gate. They get on the board first, and this was a great sign if you were a Texans fan, because Again, last week, you were absolutely stifled, handcuffed at home versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Weren't even allowed to score a touchdown in that game. Was only able to muster 6 points. So to get off on a good note to start this game out with a touchdown, refreshing, like a breath of fresh air. Touchdown. Feels good. 7-0 Houston to start this game off. Brady is picked off by Jonathan Joseph, and it is returned to the Pats 31, which leads to a Randy Bullock field goal. It's 10-0 early on in this game, Houston. So if you're the Texans, this is a story we've seen all too many times in this year for the Texans of many disappointments. You get out to a fast start, you jump all over a team, only to have them run you down and track you down like a sniffing police dog. Couldn't think of the name of the dog. German Shepherd, that's what it's called. To only have you hounded down by a hound dog, aka / German Shepherd, and just take you by storm, run you down, take the lead, and never look back. So is this going to be one of those games where you jump out to a fast start and you're sniffed down by a German Shepherd? Or are you going to run away and them not be able to find your scent or your trail? Let's see. Pats get on the board with a 23-yard Gronk shoe-top touchdown grab. This was a beautiful catch. I actually thought it one-hopped. When I was watching it live, I said, no way that's a catch. That's a one-hop. But no one else around looked like he didn't catch it, and the officials said it was a touchdown. So I'm like, maybe my eyes have deceived me. Maybe it was just too fast for my naked eye. But I was like, no way. He didn't catch that. They showed the replay, slowed it down for me, and sure enough, that was a beautiful catch. On the run, dead sprint, to go down and get it like he did. Brady got away with one. That's just the type of athlete that Gronk is. Man, what a grab. It's 10-7. Houston's still on top, but now the Patriots have answered and kind of weathered the early barrage by this Texans team. Keenum is picked off by rookie Logan Ryan as he was hit by Andre Carter, and the Texans were in scoring position. These are the type of plays that kill you as a football team. You've got a chance to put some points on the board. You're getting hit as you're trying to throw the football. Sometimes you got to know when to eat it. And I think that's something that Case Keenum, if he's given the opportunity, will learn as he plays more in the National Football League. You can't make a play all the time. Sometimes you got to know when to go and when to fold them. And this was one of those opportunities where he probably should have just folded up his tent and lived to call another play. Instead, he tried to make something happen. Ball goes up in the air. Logan Ryan, who to me has been a very impressive rookie for this Patriots football team, with no Alfonso Denner, with him dealing with his injuries and whatnot, and Aqib Talib being in and out of the lineup. Logan Ryan, the rookie out of Rutgers, has been a huge acquisition to this football team. I think he's been playing really well, and he gets another interception, taking some points off of the scoreboard for the Houston Texans in this game. The football gods were resurrecting a roughing call on Brooks Reed with a missed field goal by Stephen Gostkowski after that interception. Look, they called Brooks Reed for a roughing penalty. He was running by, and yeah, it looked like he did kind of give Brady a little shoulder shot, but I mean, it was soft. It wasn't worthy of a personal foul penalty. It was third down. Texans were about to get off the field. Thought it was a bogus call. And so the football guy said, hey, don't get all worked up about this. We'll take care of it. You know how we do. If any injustice is performed in the field, we'll make it right. And so Stephen Gostkowski got on the field, tried to kick a field goal to tie this game up at 10. Football guy said, nah, this is where we'll intervene, even back out the playing field. All right, you guys go play football. We're out of this thing. It's up to you guys on the field now to determine the outcome of the game. So football guys stepped in, quickly resurrected the situation. Then they stepped right back out and let the guys on the field handle the outcome of this game. So off the missed field goal, Texans move the ball down the field, and Ben Tate caps it off with a 20-yard touchdown run. his second of the game. It's now 17-7 Houston. So maybe this is the week the Texans run away and hide with the lead. Maybe the German Shepherd New England Patriots won't be able to sniff them down on that trail and come back and win this game. Maybe this could be the week the Texans finally get off the schneid, snap that 9-game losing streak, and get a signature win for 2013. Let's see. Opening drive of the second half, Gronk with a huge catch and run leads to a bulldozing fullback James Devlin 1-yard TD plunge. These are the type of runs that get you inspired. If you are a Patriots fan, and James Devlin ran the football like a man who doesn't get many carries. And he only had 2 carries on the season, both in this game. And so he had already gotten a first down on a 3rd and short situation. And he said, hey, I don't get many opportunities to score touchdowns. I clear the way for guys to score touchdowns. I don't get to score touchdowns. He got an opportunity here. And man, did he not disappoint. This wasn't a first or second effort. This wasn't a third effort. This is more like a 4th or 5th effort on this touchdown. I mean, he jumps over the top. He gets stopped. He comes down. He gets stopped. He rolls over. He gets stopped. He puts his shoulder down. He gets stopped. He rolls over again. He gets in the end zone. So we're talking about a 5th effort gets into the end zone by James Devlin. If that's not determination, hell, I don't know what is. It's 14-17, Texans clinging to a 3-point lead after the Devlin touchdown. Brady is getting hot. He started to warm up. You could see the Texans are in some trouble. Defensively, Brady's about to get surgical with that football. And he started shredding the Texans D. Finds Shane Vereen for a 9-yard touchdown pass. It's 21-17 New England. They take their first lead of the game. So they turned into German Shepherds. And they sniffed the Texans down. Looks like the Texans are going to have to make something happen now. Let's see if they can weather the storm after Brady and company have gotten hot and started to play some good football. Texans answered with a balanced drive capped with a Case Keenum 5-yard touchdown run. Texans assume the lead once again at 24-21. Uh-oh, here we go. Seesaw, matchup back and forth, tit for tat. Patriots take the lead. Here come the Texans. Texans now in front. What are the Patriots going to do? Brady leads the Patriots back down the field, which leads to a LeGarrette Blount 7-yard touchdown run. Patriots back on top, 28-24. So here we go. Pats back on top after Case Keenum gives the Texans back the lead at 24-21. Brady, I said he was getting hot, continues that hot streak, takes him back down the field. It's capped off with the LeGarrette Blount 7-yard touchdown run. Patriots take the lead back at 28-24. Let's see if the Texans have an answer for that answer to their answer. Let's see. Huge DeAndre Hopkins grab leads to a third Ben Tate touchdown run. It's 31-28 Houston. So the Texans are game. They're not going away. If the Patriots want this one, they're going to have to take it and pry it from the cold hands of the Houston Texans. Well, they said, hey, where's that pry bar at? That's what the Patriots said. Where's the pry bar? Hand it over. And they started hacking away. They pried this W right away from the Houston Texans. And Stephen Gostkowski nails a field goal to knot it up at 31 from 53 yards out. And he said, hey, that was so nice. I think I'll do it twice. Stephen Gostkowski, again, money from 53 yards away, gives the Patriots the lead for good in this football game, 34-31, as the Patriots had to work hard for it. Texans didn't give them anything, but the Patriots ultimately find a way to win. We know how it goes in this league. The good teams find a way to win. The bad teams find a way to lose. Texans do exactly that as they fall in this game 31-34 to the Patriots. Patriots go to 9-3 on the season. Look, this was a win they had to get. You couldn't afford to drop this game if you were the Patriots, especially if you still have hopes of getting that number 1 seed. You got to be there to pick up the pieces when and if the Denver Broncos falter down the stretch. You got to be there ready. You can't drop a game or two and hope that the Broncos falter down the stretch dropping 2 or 3 down the stretch. You can't hope that happens. You got to hope that they drop one game, and you got to be perfect down the stretch. So when they falter, you're there to pick up the pieces because you own the tiebreaker over them. So if you finish tied on the season at 13-3, you get the number 1 seed by virtue of that win in Foxborough a week ago. So you can't afford to drop a game to Houston. No, that's not allowed. You were able to pull it out. Wasn't pretty, but again, don't be pretty. Don't be cute. Be good. That's what the Patriots were. They get the W. They go to 9-3. For the Texans, this is the story of their season. Jump out to a nice quick lead, blow that lead, fight to try to win the football game, but it's not enough. It's never enough if you're the Texans. That losing streak, it's at 10, and it could easily go to 14 if you're not careful. You got to find a way to get off the snide and win one of these games. I think it's too late to save your head coach's job, but you haven't quit on him. That's one thing I can say. Case Keenum looks like a guy that I feel like you can win with in this league. I still need to see more because I don't know if I'm convinced that he is the answer at the quarterback position in Houston, but I like him. I think he's fun to watch. I just don't know if he's good enough to stop you from drafting a first-round quarterback this year. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. I've got 4 games to do so. So do the Texans brass. We'll see what decision they make. But tough loss. Another tough, heartbreaking loss for the best 2-10 team in NFL history. You would love it if you never, ever experience this again. And wow, it's been a rough season. This team is too good to be 2-10, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And you are what your record says. You are. The Texans are a 2-10 football team on a 10-game losing streak. So that's going to do it for week number 13 in the National Football League. Showdown Sunday. Another matchup in the books. I've got plenty more to break down. So if you will, please come back and join me. I've got several more games in week number 13, a.k.a. Showdown Sunday, to break down here in the lab room in week 13 of the National Football League.